All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. 7 straight wins. Joe Burrow making a case for the MVP. Defensively, they're starting to really hit their stride, man. They're getting up there to the top 5 defense in the National Football League. We're going to start this video off with a fun fact. T. Higgins is the 43rd player in the Super Bowl era to post 2 1,000-yard receiving seasons in the first 3 years of a career, joining A.J. Green, Chad Johnson, Chris Collinsworth. Jamar Chase only needs 40 yards to be number 44 and the 5th Bengal. So offensively, you have an MVP in Joe Burrow. You have a two-headed monster in Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon. And then in the wide receiver room, you have Jamar Chase, you have T. Higgins, you have Hayden Hurst, you have Trent Irwin, you have Tyler Boyd. There are so many threats on the offense. There are so many threats on the defense. Like I said, they're creeping up there to the top 5. They're creeping on up there. When I look at this last game, I'm kind of complexed, all right? This last game, some people are saying it was a much-needed wake-up call. I kind of like that narrative. I won't lie to you. But that game was so strange in its own ways. It was such a strange game. Obviously, the weather was playing a factor, but Joe Burrow was putting up record highs in the first half. And it's not like they took their foot off the gas. It's just some things didn't go their way. They got stuffed on a 3rd and 1. Trent Irwin dropped a touchdown. Jamar Chase got the ball stripped from him on just an insane defensive play. Bill Belichick, one of the best coaches in the National Football League. I like it where it was, I can't think of a good word. It wasn't quite a wake-up call, but it was a wake-up call in a sense of, all right, that's why you got to be perfect, or you got to be close to perfect. You can't expect greatness if you're not going to be great on every drive, or if you're not at least going to strive for greatness on every drive. So some of the little lapses, like the drop touchdown or the fumble in enemy territory, those are things, when we get into the playoffs, those are things we can't have. So it was kind of a wake-up call in that sense. But before we get into today's video, if you guys enjoy it, you want more Bengals content, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I post daily NFL content, Bengals content a couple of times a week. Bengals fans, love you guys as always. Let's try and get this video to 500 likes, but most importantly, I want to hear your thoughts down below. Now, defensively, let's talk defense first and foremost, because they're quote-unquote a little bit banged up. We'll talk about the right tackle loss, Lyle Collins, in a little bit later on in the video. But defensively, you have guys like Trey Hendrickson with a broken wrist. You have guys playing injured. It's not just him. Cam also playing injured. Hubbard is out. They're not fully healthy, but they're not completely decimated. They're somewhere along the, relatively healthy line. Every team right now is extremely banged up. That's why I'm so focused on just health. But defensively, regardless of who's out there, they come together as a team and they make plays. And when I look at that last game, I'm like, all right, 22-18, that is not indicative of the game I actually watched. Because defensively, and I know it's Mac Jones, and I know I made fun of him before the game for not being able to throw a grape in the ocean, which I still stand by. The game was super wacky, right? A pick six was their first point. The Patriots didn't have a play in enemy territory, in Bengals territory, till the 4th quarter. I feel like that statistic right there alone kind of just goes to show you how good that defense was on Saturday, but the score doesn't. Now, the pick six. Jamar Chase missed communication on an audible, whatever the case was. You don't see that happen very often, right? You simply don't see that happen very often. Jamar Chase fumble. We don't see that very often either. The Hail Mary deflected catch or deflected pass that was just, it was on a silver platter, just perfect for Jacoby Myers. You don't see that very often. So I think that just kind of goes to show you, Bill Belichick is a phenomenal coach. The Patriots, they still have a great defense. Mac Jones, although most of the time he can't throw a grape in the ocean, sometimes the cookie just crumbles that way. So I never felt like the Bengals were going to lose that football game. That turnover at the end in the red zone or right on the red zone. I mean, that was huge to me. Just play after play on the defensive side. Like I said, offensively, it's not like it was disgusting. Just some things didn't go their way in the second half. And that's why in my last video, I focused solely on, all right, there are a couple things I want to see, right? I want to see health. It's first and foremost, I want to see health. Like La'el Collins, LC. Obviously, he's not the best right tackle to ever exist, but it's an unfortunate loss. We'll talk about Hakeem, his replacement, in just a second. Some people want Andrew Whitworth to return as a Bengal to come out of retirement. I think that is a little bit of a long shot, but you never know. We've seen crazier things. Somebody did it last year, right? I want to see health, okay? And I want to see consistency, because these last two games for the Bengals, even though their percent to win the AFC North are now 63.5, which 2 weeks ago it was like 30-something. I remember talking about it in video. I'm like, are you guys watching the Ravens? Are you guys watching the Bengals? Are you just throwing numbers out of your ass? Like, I don't know how you think the Ravens have over a 60% chance to win the division, but it's neither here nor there. I want to see consistency. All right, that's simply what I want to see. Last game was a game of two halves. The week before that was a game of two halves. The week before that wasn't the prettiest victory against Cleveland. Kansas City was a great win. And I get it. When you're playing these playoff caliber teams, when you're playing phenomenal defenses, which they've done for several straight weeks, like New England, great defense. Tampa Bay, great defense. You have Cleveland and Kansas City who are going to give you a hard time. They're not going to make it easy on you. You have Tennessee, that's one of the best defenses. A couple weeks before that, you have Carolina, who's one of the best defenses. They're not going to make it easy on you, but I want to see 4 consistent quarters. That's what I want to see, 4 consistent quarters, because that to me is you hitting your stride at the perfect moment. Obviously, the 7 straight victories is hitting a plenty amount of stride. That's a perfect way to catapult into the playoffs. But the game within the game, I do want to see them run the ball right down the Buffalo Bills' throats, because that would be awesome. I want to see the defense for 4 straight quarters just do their thing, which we've seen time and time again, week after week. It just might not always appear like that on the scoreboard. Offensively, I want to see just foot on gas, 4 straight quarters, no turnovers, get that run game going, get everybody's confidence up. It's not too much to ask for, and we've seen it happen for plenty of Bengals games so far this season. Like I said, it just doesn't always show up on the scoreboard. But you're playing great defenses to finish off this season in Buffalo and Baltimore. So at the end of the day, I'm going to take a win. I'm going to take health. But I want to see this team hit its stride, because we've heard Joe Burrow talk about it. We've heard Zach Taylor talk about it. We've heard all of these guys talk about how, offensively we're really good. We're in a really good place right now, but we could reach a higher level. We got to unlock that next level. That's what they've been focused on and just talking about. And we've seen plenty of glimpses like that first half this past Saturday against New England. So I think this team is, although we've won 7 straight games, I don't think that they've quite hit that next level, which they're going to reach. And I think it's going to happen against Buffalo. If not, you're going to take down Baltimore. You're going to head into the playoffs with a top 3 seed, and you're going to be looking pretty damn good. Now, I'll talk a little bit more about this later on in the week, because this news only recently came out. I saw talk about, because La'el Collins tore ACL, which sucks. LC, done for the season, sucks. You have Hakeem and Digi, who he's fine. To me, he's fine. I don't think that going out and getting Andrew, who's got his last Amazon Prime game, I believe, on Thursday, and after that he's, the contract's over and you can sign him. He can sign with the team if he pleases. I think that's kind of a long shot. If it does happen, it's perfectly fine, because you don't need him to play at an all-star level. You just need him to do his job. To me, I think Hakeem can do that. We've seen some talks about Darrell Williams. We've seen some other guys being floated on out there. I don't think they're going to make a big-time move like that. I think if they do, they're going to upgrade somebody from the practice squad, or they're going to sign more of a veteran free agent for the practice squad, or just for depth purposes. So I'll keep you guys updated on what happens with the right tackle position. But for the most part, this is a still relatively healthy team, and regardless of health, guys are just stepping up. It's as simple as that. Guys are simply stepping up. We've talked about it in video after video. Jamar Chase going down, Joe Mixon going down, all of these guys going down. They've still figured it out, and they've figured it out with wins. So that's what you want to see. That's all that matters. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the Bengals down below, and I'll see you guys later.